Every story appears ordinary until you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Good evening and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Omotayo Alo. In our major story, President Muhammad Buhari has arrived at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, after spending 6 days in New York, the United States of America. Also in this program, Senate President Bukola Saraki has finally received the list of ministerial nominees from the presidency. More accolades as Nigeria clocks 55 years of independence tomorrow. And from outside Nigeria, the United Nations has raised the Palestinian flag for the first time, following an address delivered by Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas to the UN General Assembly. Thank you so very much for joining us at this time. Now the news in full. President Muhammad Buhari has arrived at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, after spending 6 days in New York, the United States of America, where he went to attend the 70th session of the United Nations General Assembly with a 22-man delegation. You'd recall that President Buhari left Nigeria last Thursday for the UN General Assembly, where he had a series of meetings and interactions which bordered around domestic developmental issues, bilateral relations, the war against terrorism, countering violent extremism, the enchantment of global security, peacemaking operations, climate change, and the adoption of a post-2015 global development agenda with notable world leaders. President Muhammad Buhari will on Thursday, October 1st, 2015, make a nationwide broadcast as part of the program of activities to mark Nigeria's 55th independence anniversary. The broadcast will take place at 7 a.m. The Senate has ended its last plenary session for September without releasing the list of ministerial nominees. This is contrary to suggestions that the list of potential cabinet members had been delivered to the Senate President. Minority Leader Godswill Akpabio had first raised a poser on the list but was shut down by Deputy Majority Leader Bala Inala.
The President just finished making announcements and communications from the federal government of Nigeria. And the newspapers have been awash in the last 1 month or so with names of would-be ministers, and were promised by the federal government of Nigeria, led by the APC, that by September 2015, list of ministers to be here. And Mr. President finished making all the announcements and he omitted to read the list of ministers. So, Mr. President, we would like to know why you have decided to hide the aspect of the list of ministers without reading them.
By the ordinary interpretation of day, today is 30th day of September, and I'm aware that the workings of the Senate, as far as the office of the Senate President is concerned, closes by 12 o'clock midnight today. And for somebody to raise this issue as early as this time does not appear to represent anybody.
Meanwhile, Senate President Bukola Saraki has finally received the list of ministerial nominees from the presidency. He confirmed receipt of the executive communication via his Twitter handle at about 5:30 p.m. The Senate President received the list from the President's Chief of Staff, Abaya Kari, and his Special Advisor in National Assembly, Affair Ita Inyang, just before 5 p.m. in his office. Senator Shola Adeyeye has assumed office as the Senate Chief Whip 3 months after the inauguration of the Assembly. This was after the Southwest Caucus of the All Progressives Congress sent in a letter endorsing him for the position. He was the party's choice for the position but did not take his seat at the time all the principal officials from the APC were named. Senator Adeyeye is the only one out of the 4 endorsed by the party leaders, which the Senate leadership found acceptable. Former Vice President and Chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Atiku Abubakar, said Nigerians deserve a pat on the back for their perseverance in preserving the country since independence. He said this in a statement congratulating Nigerians on the occasion of the nation's 55th independence anniversary. The Turaki Adamawa noted that this year's celebration is significant because it coincides with a change of government when an opposition party took over power through a democratic, free and fair election. The former vice president identifies nation building as the greatest challenge facing the country because, according to him, Nigerians still need to improve the way they relate to one another. He added that there is a need for the people to begin to see themselves first as Nigerians rather than one ethnic group or the other. On the challenge posed to the nation by the prolonged Boko Haram insurgency, the former vice president is full of praise for the armed forces and the successes of the latter in the campaign against terrorism. He calls on Nigerians to continue to support the armed forces and its commander-in-chief, President Muhammad Buhari, until terrorism becomes a thing of the past. Lawmakers in the Senate have described Nigeria's 55th independence anniversary as a time for sober reflection in the face of overwhelming social, economic and security challenges. While taking turns to congratulate Nigeria and President Muhammad Buhari on the feat, they also stressed the need to reassess the country's economic situation. They also spoke on their wish for the nations united in progress and development. Deputy Senate Leader Bala Ibn Nala raised the motion. Members of the House of Representatives have been recounting their experiences on national issues and events that led to the independence of Nigeria 55 years ago. In the motion moved by Raphael Ugbokwe, the lawmakers noted that despite the challenges the country has gone through, there are more reasons to celebrate at 55. They also recalled how Nigeria proved wrong several predictions of disintegration in 2015 with the success of the March general elections. Meanwhile, President of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, has congratulated Nigerians on the nation's 55th independence anniversary. In a goodwill message to commemorate this year's celebration, the Senate President thanked Nigerians for their support and encouragement to President Muhammad Buhari and all the successive administrations for the nation's development so far. He also urged them to remain steadfast in their support and be hopeful for a better nation. The Senate President commended the presidency for the giant strides recorded so far in the fight against Boko Haram and all the security challenges confronting the country. Join us after this break for more.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water and
new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly. Talk to her husband that you should keep promise about what you said, and because people are watching you, you know, another election is coming.
Because some people will stand for Yoruba land, will be strong man, you don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
Some pundits believe that as long as the political system is driven by selected few, corruption may be difficult to fight.
You should be careful about what you say.
I am not the only politician. Even if I've wronged anyone, it's time to forgive me.
Political Arena every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. and a repeat broadcast every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, it's CoreTV Primetime News. Here is a quick reminder of our top stories. President Muhammad Buhari has arrived at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, after spending 6 days, I beg your pardon, in New York, the United States of America. Also, Senate President Bukola Saraki has finally received the list of ministerial nominees from the presidency. More accolades as Nigeria clocks 55 years of independence tomorrow. For more of our news and information, visit our social media platform, facebook.com/CoreTV News, our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. You could get more on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoreTV, leave a space and news. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has charged Nigerians to use the occasion of the nation's 55th independence anniversary to rekindle the spirit of patriotism while exhibiting actions that promote democratic ideals and peaceful coexistence at all levels in the country. In a statement signed on Wednesday by its National Publicity Secretary, Olisa Metu, the party said the occasion reminds of Nigeria's common roots and destiny, as well as a resilience and determination to succeed in all spheres of life. It further congratulated the citizenry for keeping faith in the Nigerian project and working together in building a strong nation and one of the fastest growing economies in the world. The party, however, urged Nigerians to use the anniversary to recommit to respecting their leaders at all local government, state and national levels, while paying adequate reverence to national symbols and institutions. Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode on Wednesday congratulated Nigerians as the nation marks the 55th independence anniversary as a sovereign state, saying patriotism and selfless service are two aspects that can truly reflect the essence of the country's independence. The governor, in a statement signed by his chief press secretary, Abib Aruna, said the period of independence must be lost on anyone, urging Nigerians to rededicate themselves to the pride and service of the nation as exemplified by our founding fathers. As Nigeria prepared to celebrate the 55th independence anniversary, Nigerians react on the state of the nation, which borders on economy, health, education, youth employment, security of lives and property.
I can see the good work of the president. At least he has changed our economic system, and we pray for more wisdom for him to also continue and to keep the good work.
And I wish everything should be going smooth, not armed robbery, not anything, for the government to improve more efforts in Nigeria. May God bless Nigeria.
Our economic is still deteriorating, and the way of this state of government, whereby our government has promised us so many things, schooling, there are still so many people who does not have schools, and it's still deteriorating, but at least better than before.
I'm so glad that I'm alive. My children are alive. Nigeria is okay because we've improved. I thank God that we've improved.
My dear, I will not lie you. Things are just a bit difficult for some people. Honestly, people that are on top, they have to do something.
I am very happy. I am very, very great because my husband, my children, in short, I thank God. So the only thing I can say, let our country do something. People are suffering.
Tomorrow we'll be celebrating our independence, and little bit things are improved, let me just say that. But we are still expecting more change, exactly, especially in the area of our economic. We're really expecting change, and we believe we're going to have it very soon.
Some reactions you have there. President of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, has likened the death of foremost technocrat and administrator Gamali Onosade to the loss of a library. This, he says, is judged by his deep knowledge of Nigeria and its socio-economic development. Senator Saraki said in a condolence message to the Onosade family and people of Delta State that he was a man of many parts and one of the second generation of architects of the Nigerian nation. He stated that the deceased served the nation in various capacities with excellence, diligence and dignity. The Senate President also called on the Delta State government to immortalize the deceased for his noble deeds. One of the senators, Shehu Sani, on Wednesday made a subtle reference to the decision of Minority Leader Godswill Akpabio to fly to London for medical attention after a recent accident. Senator Sani said he expected him to have gone to the first-class hospital he claimed to have built as governor of Akwa Ibom State.
First-class hospital? But I was informed he was in London. So,
Sani.
I went to Akwa Ibom trying to find our minority leader in his first-class hospital until I was told he was in London. Now that is very clear.
The National State Legislative House's election tribunal sitting in Ado-Ekiti has delivered judgment on 4 petitions filed before it in the last general elections. 3 of the petitioners are challenging the result declared by INEC in 1 Senate seat and 2 seats in the House of Assembly, while 1 petition is about the omission of the logo of one party on the ballot of the elections. Rashid has more.
With the presence of heavy security personnel at the court premises, this displays the importance of the task ahead. Tony Adeniyi, the All Progressives Congress candidate at the Ekiti South senatorial election, has challenged the victory of Abiodun Olujimi of the PDP. He prayed the court to declare him the winner of the election or order a rerun, hinging on the allegation that Olujimi did not resign at the Nigerian Communications Commission 30 days before the election date. But in a unanimous judgment delivered by Justice Patricia Obayi on behalf of the chairman, the tribunal dismissed the petition, saying it lacks merit.
NCC is established by law. So our view is that it is applicable. She must resign. But the tribunal, in their wisdom, 3 wise men, they have done their bit, and they construed it to mean that she is not a public servant.
The judgment was a scholarly one. It was apt, and the judges actually went into deep research.
Tony Adeniyi, however, vows to appeal the judgment.
We are just heading for the Court of Appeal, I can assure you. All I pray is that the necessary papers should be made available to us so that we have gone through this type of process. So I'm not deterred as a client, and I'm not deterred as a lawyer to pursue my right to the apex court.
They can go to appeal, they can go to Supreme Court. The truth will be constant.
While the tribunal decides on this, tension is however high as the judgment regarding the elections of Ekiti Central Senatorial District is being awaited. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has advocated a review of the existing laws prohibiting electronic voting in the country. The chairman of INEC, Amina Zakari, represented by INEC National Commissioner Lawrence Uwuruku, disclosed this on Tuesday in Abuja during the post-2015 Electoral Reform Symposium organized by the National Democratic Institute and other civil society organizations. She pointed out that the scientific system of voting has become an unavoidable reality, as evidenced in the major role technology played in the success recorded in the 2015 general election. The INEC chairman emphasized the need for comprehensive electoral reforms ahead of the 2019 general election. We take another break. We'll be back with stories from outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
Is it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trading looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. They don't put words into my mouth. Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute, I said to hell.
On Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody has a right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
And on the foreign scene, United States has conducted several airstrikes with the aim of protecting coalition troops at the airport near the northern city of Kunduz, as Afghan forces continue to battle Taliban to retake it. The military coalition said NATO's special forces have also reached Kunduz to also bolster Afghan troops after the Taliban seized the strategic city. A NATO spokesman who confirmed this said the coalition's special forces, comprising of U.S., British and German troops, are on ground to advise their Afghan counterpart. He also said that fighting continues as they rage inside Kunduz for a third day as government forces backed by U.S. airstrikes battle Taliban fighters who have scored one of their biggest successes in 14 years of fighting. Meanwhile, the United Nations has raised the Palestinian flag for the first time following an address delivered by Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas to the UN General Assembly. The flag was raised in the Rose Garden on Wednesday as a large crowd of diplomats and reporters watched on. Speaking to the crowd, Abbas dedicated the ceremony to the martyrs, the prisoners and the wounded, and to those who gave their lives while trying to raise this flag. Hundreds of Palestinians assembled in the occupied West Bank city of Ramallah, where they watched the flag raising on a large screen setup in Yasser Arafat Square. In an op-ed published at the Huffington Post, Abbas called the flag raising a moment of hope and called on the international community to recognize the independence of the state of Palestine. Also in Syria, Syria's defense ministry says Russian military jets have carried out airstrikes in Syria for the first time. The ministry spokesman Igor Noshankov disclosed that the airstrikes targeted positions, vehicles and warehouses that Russia believes belong to the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant ISIL group. Russia's foreign minister Sergei Lavrov later told the UN Security Council that his country is ready to forge standing channels of communication to ensure a maximally effective fight against terrorist group. Both the U.S. and all the nations, they're ready to carry the fight headlong. In sport, Super Eagles head coach Sunday Olise has released the list of 19 best professionals who will start a camp in Port Harcourt on Monday ahead of the Fourth African Nations Championship final qualifying fixture against Burkina Faso next month. Top joint scorer in the ongoing Nigeria Professional Football League season, Tunde Adeniji, is joined by Warri Wolves ace Gbolahan Salami, Solomon Kwambe, Idris Aloma, Usman Mohammed, Ezekiel Bassi, and Bature Yaro. There are also goalkeepers David Obiazo and Okemute Oda, defenders Kalu Oji and Jamiu Alimi, a former junior international midfielder Ifeanyi Matthew, and forwards Dayo Ojo and Godwin Obaje. All invited players are expected to report in Port Harcourt on Monday, 4th October, ahead of the first leg clash with the Etalons at the Adokie Amisiemaka Stadium on Sunday, 18th October. The return leg comes up in Ouagadougou on Sunday, 25th October. These are goalkeepers Femi Thomas, Nyimba FC, and Ikechukwu Ezenwa of Sunshine Stars, defenders Chima, aka Sharks FC, and Austin Oboro Akpo, Abia Warriors, midfielder Paul Onobi, Sunshine Stars, and forward Prince Gary of Sunshine Stars. Nigeria's Super Eagles coach Sunday Olise has invited Celtic defender Ife Ambrose for the international friendlies against Directorate of Congo and Cameroon in Belgium owing to injuries suffered by Kenneth Omero. This was disclosed by the Nigeria Football Federation via their Twitter handle. Omero was replaced by Vissel Bozikov with 9 minutes to regulation time in their 1-1 draw versus Rizpor in Turkish top-flight encounter on Monday. This will be the first time Ife would be invited to the senior national team since the country's failure to qualify for the 2015 African Cup of Nations stage in Equatorial Guinea. Before we go on CoreTV Primetime News, here is a quick reminder of our top stories. President Muhammad Buhari has arrived in Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, after spending 6 days in New York, the United States of America. Senate President Bukola Saraki has finally received the list of ministerial nominees from the presidency. More accolades as Nigeria clocks 55 years of independence tomorrow. And from outside Nigeria, the United Nations has raised the Palestinian flag for the first time following an address delivered by Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas to the UN General Assembly. On behalf of the entire news crew, thank you so very much for watching. My name is Omotayo Alo. Have a good night rest.